Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am using all the stems from Leaf Play from Hello Bluebird for a challenge for me and two friends. So I started by taking my crunchy leaf and a piece of Strathmore Bristol Smooth to stamp out my images. And I'm using this ink because it is not only good for Copics but also for watercoloring, and I wanted a softer look than the black. So I'm using this ink and then I am going to color with my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. So this video has a lot of coloring in it, so therefore I will put on some music while I am using my zigs. But first of all, maybe for those who haven't seen any videos of me yet, I add my zigs, I add the ink onto the edges of the images, and then I take a wet paintbrush, or if you have like the blender from the zigs, then you can use that as well, to drag out the colors from the edges towards the middle of the image, and this way I also make it a bit softer. So if you want to create a lot of depth, you can always add more and more layers, but for this card I wanted to keep it really soft, so I'm only doing one layer and I'm using a 2-0 brush for those who are interested in the size. So I will list all the colors that I'm using below the video so that you can see which colors I used if you are interested in using the same. And for the rest I will put on some music. I'll be back after the coloring is done. So the coloring is almost done, and I will let it dry for a while, and then I will cut them out using my Scan and Cut from Brother, and then I will continue with the background. So to be able to use all the images, I decided to make a longer card than usual. And then I took some distress inks to create my backgrounds. So I tried to mimic the colors of the leaves that I have painted before. So therefore I first took my dried marigold and I added it on top of my card panel, which is from Neenah. Then I used scattered straw to create the rest of the sky, and in the end I will also add some mowed lawn onto the bottom to like give the impression of the cross. And to add some more depth into the sky, I added some spiced marmalade onto the top of the sky to really deepen that more. So for those who are interested, I am using just a really cheap makeup brush to blend this. And I am using the same brush when I'm using the same color sorts. So with this scattered straw and the marigold, I didn't mind using the same. And then to add some details to my background, I decided to splatter some gold on top of it. So therefore I'm using the red gold. And that will give like a really lovely shine when you tilt a card, and also give something extra to the fall ID. And then I am also using the yellow gold, just referring back to the colors that I used for the backgrounds, being sort of a yellowish color and an orange one. So here I laid out my images again, and I decided to first adhere them before continuing with stamping out sentiment. So for adhering them, I used my thin foam squares from Scrapbook Adhesives and also my Gina K Design Connect glue. I used the crunchy leaf once more to really keep the same idea going, not going too harsh with the sentiment, but in the end it also needs to be visible. So what I'm doing here is making sure that the sentiment is aligned straight, and it wasn't easy, but after fiddling a bit, it finally worked out. So then I could stamp it out as well. So to finish the card, I just need to add it onto a card base. And therefore I used an adhesive roller, Paradise, which I got from my crafty friend from Germany, and I actually really like the stickiness of it and the result that I get with it. So thank you very much, Julia. And after tearing it as straight as possible, my card is done. So this card was made for a challenge between me and two crafty friends, Julia from Germany and Jarle from Belgium. I really like those two girls and the challenges that we do together. I hope you like this card design as well, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye!